Welcome in. I am the CryptoBullGod, and in today's video, Caspa community, we're going to discuss why I believe the time is now to be accumulating Caspa. And as always, I'm going to point you to a few different charts, and we're going to logically go through this. No emotions, just logic. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You got to click the bell icon for notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday for my TA live stream on crypto. It's called All in the Charts, where I take your TA questions. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram and Tradingview. It's one word, CryptoBullGod. Just a quick disclosure that none of what I'm providing is financial advice. I'm simply looking to educate and to help others through sound, logical, non-hype, technical analysis. We're all big boys and big girls, so we can make our own personal financial decisions. With that being said, let's get into it. All right, the first chart we're going to take a look at here is Caspa USD on a lower time frame. This is the 6-hour chart. You can see we're in a true definition of a downtrend at the moment, right? We have these lower highs, right? The lower highs are coming in, followed by these lower lows, right? So until, and this is one of the most basic things in charting, guys, as soon as we start breaking and invalidating those lower highs, we begin to travel up in price and get higher than this price here, travel up and get higher than this price here, et cetera, et cetera. That's what's going to lead to bullish momentum getting back into the price, right? I always say, on my daily live stream, All in the Charts, you can subscribe to get notifications when I do go live for that each and every single day. Higher highs and higher lows are the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative, okay? We need to see that come into price. But right now, you can see, based on the last video that I shared with you guys, we are in my golden pocket, my golden buy zone, right? I had identified this 3.7 to roughly 3.2 to 3.3 cent area. We're right in there. We're right in this golden buy zone, right? So nothing really should be surprising to you guys. The other thing that I pointed out to you, 4.3 cents was going to be a major area of resistance to get above. Look what literally happened. We bounced up against the 4.3 cent area. We temporarily broke above it and got all the way up towards 4.4 cents, right? And then rolled over. Okay, so that should not be surprising to you as well. These are all things that I've spoken about here. Now, we're not going to take a look at the price indicators on this chart because I'm not seeing anything really significant coming in. What you really want to watch for, right? A couple things to point out in this chart. We really want to start to break this downward area of resistance here. You can see the downward area of resistance marked there. The other thing that's interesting is, the other thing you can do to kind of see if we're picking up momentum in the price as well, you can draw the original area of downward momentum that we had in price, which I would draw roughly like this, right? So you can see we have downward resistance here. We temporarily broke above it. We back tested it, but then we re-entered. Okay, see how we re-entered the downward resistance, which is bearish. And now since we've broken back above, so it'll be interesting to see if we can maintain price levels up in this region right around 3.65 cents and start breaking up, okay? And we're going to get into a little bit of a conversation about Bitcoin as well towards the latter half of this video, because that is going to factor into my thoughts on these charts. Now, let's get into a daily time frame here. I think the fact, pink always on this channel, the pink line is the 200 simple moving average. The purple is the 50 simple moving average. One of the things you can really appreciate about this daily chart is just how immature the price data is. We only started printing the 200 simple moving average as of April 20, it looks like April 20th. Okay, so that's how immature the data is. What do we see here on the daily? We see a falling wedge. You can draw this a couple different ways, but this right now to me looks like we're in the midst of printing some sort of a falling wedge, right? So it'll be interesting to see if that pattern continues to pan out. Again, you can see it looks like we've broken below this key area of confluence at 3.7 cents. And ultimately, again, one big major area of price confluence is going to be this 4.3 cent area. You can see back here, this was our prior all-time high in April, so it's no surprise that 4.3 cents is going to be that major area that once we start to break out above it and start to get candle body closes above it, that's when it's time to get really excited, in my opinion. Price indicators, nothing super surprising or shocking going on here. We've just seen some consolidation, okay, a little bit of a correction here. Nothing really sticking out to me here. The stochastic RSI, we want to see this thing begin to curl back up and get above 20. The MACD, what really will be significant from a price indicator standpoint is something I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. We want this MACD to continue to flatten out here. You can see the histogram is trying to get less red in nature. We want it to flatten out and get a curl, okay? Get a curl up above our 0 trigger line and turn bullish and have that histogram turn a dark green. That's when momentum will begin to really pick up in the price. But guys, the time is now to be accumulating this thing, okay? I'm never offer financial advice on this thing, on this channel. This thing could roll over and go to 0 just like any other crypto project. I'm never going to offer you financial advice. All I'm doing is unemotionally reading the chart. And what we've done, okay, this is what I've been signaling. We literally just broke out above all-time highs, and now we're just consolidating in this area. Sure, we could roll over lower, and we're going to get into some theoretical targets if we do roll over. But these price levels, you have to understand, if you have not been in this market for a long time, the prices are not going to stay at this level forever. When true euphoria begins to pick up, and we start to see altcoin dominance begin to pick up, this is going to move hard and fast, very hard and fast. And I want to give credit where credit is due. Give Cryptographer Jim here a follow on Twitter if you are not already. But he pointed out very correctly that what we have here is a rounding bottom. Look at this. We have a rounding bottom. This is one of the top price patterns you can watch for in charts. This is a cup, right? Look what we have here, a handle, okay? Volume profile, for whatever reason, has not been working on Tradingview. I don't know, so I can't look at the volume profile. But you can see we have the rounding bottom for the cup, and we have the handle here. These things are popular in terms of showing up in charts and then breaking to the upside and being a bullish pattern. This, to me, looks like massive accumulation. Again, that's why I'm saying the time is now, is because we have literally just broken. We just broke out above the prior all-time high in April, and now all we're doing is consolidating. It's literally, to me, what this is saying is it's just shouting from the rooftops, buy me now before I'm monumentally more expensive in price. And by the way, I do plan to have additional capital available in the coming months in September, October, November. I am looking to deploy it into a few projects, including Bitcoin and Caspa and a couple others, and just continue to scale in. It's one of the most diligent things that you can do, and one of the things you can do for being a successful investor is to DCA in at sensical levels. This is a sensical level to me right now on this chart. Now, let's have a conversation about how Caspa is performing relative to Bitcoin. This is one of these charts that you really need to become familiar with when you're investing in any of your altcoins. You really want to see how its price performance is doing relative to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the mothership. It is the leader of the cryptocurrency market. So if your altcoin is performing well relative to Bitcoin, that is speaking to just how strong of an altcoin you are holding. Now, I'm not going to regurgitate the same thing that I've said in other videos. You see the rounding bottom consolidation, a move up, a rounding bottom consolidation, we're waiting for a move up. The other thing I want to speak to here, and make sure that you do catch my daily live stream this week, as well as I plan to put out, more than likely, all in the charts, by the way, but I'll probably also put out a published Bitcoin video. But there have been a couple weekly charts that have been signaling to me that I have shared with you guys, and I just shared it in my most recent Bitcoin video that published last Monday. It was actually last Monday, and the title of the video is Bitcoin Time to Worry. Now, in the latter half of that video, I speak to a couple weekly charts. In particular, I speak to the Williams Alligator, the ADX and DI indicator, and I also speak to the Gaussian channel on the weekly. And all those things are sort of signaling to me that a potential corrective price action is still imminent in Bitcoin. And September, as it happens to be, is not the most bullish month historically for Bitcoin. So it wouldn't surprise me to see some sort of a corrective, still healthy, pullback, which would not invalidate the Elliott wave count on Bitcoin. And the price zone that I'll get into later this week that I'm really targeting for Bitcoin, and a price area that I'm looking to hold if we do get that correction in Bitcoin, is around 22,500 to 23,500. Now, what that represents is around a 10 to 14% correction in Bitcoin. This chart, while we could see some sort of volatility wick play out in this area, I would expect the relative strength in this area here to hold for Caspa. Typically, when Bitcoin has a harsh correction, most of your alts are going to see a harder correction. I think even if Caspa does have a harder correction relative to Bitcoin, it's going to be relatively in line with it. So let's just say that theoretically this correction does play out. Bitcoin spikes all the way down as low as 22.5 to 23.5. Let's go back to the daily chart here and let's take a look at current price action and ask the question, how much lower would around 10 to 14% take us in price? And you can see from current price levels, a 10% move would get us down to this 3.3 cent area. Of 14, it'd be more than a 14% move. About an 18% move would take us down to the 3 cent area. And it looks like about a 23% move down would be about 2.8 cents in the Caspa USD price. Now, you have to understand this market is very, very volatile. If Bitcoin does see some sort of a sharp correction down to 22.5 to 23.5, let's say the falling wedge here gets invalidated. Let's remove this line. Even if we went as low and saw some sort of a sharp volatility wick down to 28.2 cents, right? And then a sharp retracement back up to 3.3 cents, right? What are we doing in the price, guys? Put your emotions aside. Read the chart for what it is, okay? We have a low way back here. We have a low way in this area, and now we got a low way back up in here. These are higher lows, right? And we're creating higher highs. Don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't feed into those emotions. Emotions are a money killer. What I'm trying to say to you is I think it is very possible that if we do see a correction in Bitcoin as low as 22.5 to 23.5, if that scenario plans out, the highest level that I see holding a support would be 3.3 cents, but we could come all the way down as low as 2.8 cents. And don't allow others who can't read charts or are just, quite frankly, not good technical analysts to tell you that if Caspa wicks down to 2.8 cents, it's the end of the world. We're not going to see new all-time highs until next year. That is BS. This thing could wick down to 2.8 cents, come all the way back up to 3.3 cents, and then entertain new all-time highs as early as October, in my opinion, okay? Could this scenario play out? Yes. Could this scenario not play out? Could the falling wedge scenario play out? Okay. Could our falling wedge scenario pan out such that we see prices ultimately getting back up to this 4.3 cent area, capturing it as support and then continuing to move up? Absolutely. But we need to also keep an eye on Bitcoin. Regardless if you're buying right here at 3.5 or 6 cents, or you're buying at 3 cents or 3.3 cents or as low as 2.8 cents, which would be a gift, this is the time to be accumulating. Again, this thing is just in a range here where it is accumulating in price and just waiting for a third time to come back up to the 4.3 cent area, break it, hold it as support, and then continue moving higher. And once we break this area here at over 5 cents, that psychological area of 10 cents is in sight. Don't forget that Caspa has not been listed on major U.S. exchanges like Binance and Coinbase. If you appreciated the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You got to click the bell icon to know when I go live each and every single day to get notifications for that live stream all on the charts and for videos like this. So if you appreciate the content, everybody, make sure to share it with at least one person. Share the video with at least one person on Discord or Twitter. And until next time, let's all spread awareness and let's carry the education forward.
So what you gonna do, $1 on CryptoBullGod? and his cryptomaniacs and the entire cryptocurrency market run wild on you.